Hi boys and girls, and thank you for joining us today for our second STEAM lesson. And again, we're going to be doing science this week. Now, before we start our experiment today, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who joined us last week for our science experiment. I loved seeing all the pictures of you floating and sinking objects. You were super scientists. Now, I did that experiment with my boys and girls at home too, and we loved it. And one of my little boys asked me during the experiment how we could change the colour of this water. And I thought, what a great experiment, and we're going to try and do that today. So every great science experiment starts with a question, and our question is, how can we change the colour of this water? Now, earlier on in the week, your teacher would have gave you your list of everything that you needed, and I hope you've got it all with you just now. I've got mine already. And today you would have got a worksheet on your Teams. Now, if you managed to print it off, super. If not, you can just look at it and I'm going to take you through it. Okay? Now, at the top, the box with lots of tricky words in it, don't worry about them. You'll start to understand those words as we go through our experiment. And our question is, can I change the colour of this water? Now, the second part of our experiment, on your sheet you'll see a box, and the question asks, how will I do this? And I've broke it up into little parts, and what I would like you to do is draw each thing that you're doing. So for number one, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one piece of kitchen roll. Okay, just break it off. Now I'm going to half it and quarter it so that I've got a nice square. Next, I'm going to take my red felt tip pen and I'm going to draw a big square on it. Now, the reason why I'm drawing a big square is because I want to colour as much of the kitchen roll as possible. So I'm going to colour it all in. That'll take you a few minutes. Make sure you colour every part of it. I did this one. Okay, so your kitchen roll should look like this. Now I'm going to dip it into the water. So you can add that on into your box. But before we go any further, I want you to make that sensible guess. And we know that scientists use the word hypothesis. That means a sensible guess. So what we're going to do is, before we dip it into the water, we're going to make our hypothesis. So pause the video just now, go to question 3 and tell me if you think this water will change colour. Okay, well done everybody. So your answer might be yes or it might be no. So let's have a go and see. So I'm going to take my red and I'm going to dip it into the water. Okay, and you might see something happen. Give it a swirl around. Lift it up, dip it back in again. Lift it up and dip it. And I can see something happening. My water is certainly changing colour. Give it a wee squeeze. And look, boys and girls, we have managed to change the colour of this water. I hope you can all see that. It's a nice red colour. Might not be as bright as the red we had in our kitchen roll, but it certainly is nice and red. So if you got your hypothesis right, super. If not, don't worry about it. That's what science is all about, is finding out. Now, next on our table, we're going to test, and that's what we did there. We tested our kitchen roll and put it into the water. We're going to make a hypothesis and then we're going to see our result. And our first test was putting the red into the water. We made a hypothesis, would it change colour or not? That was our test. And our result is yes, it changed red. Now we're going to play around and we're going to try and make different colours. So we've already got red. Now I want you to do the exact same thing as we did the first time. Get your kitchen roll, half it, quarter it. And this time, we've got a different 2D shape. We have a big yellow triangle. Okay, now pause this video as we're going along to stop to make it, and then you can keep up with me. Okay. So when you've made your yellow, we're going to put it into the water and we're going to see what colour it makes. Before we test it, you're going to make your hypothesis, and that is your sensible guess. So what colour do you think our water will change to when we add yellow? Make your hypothesis. Okay, well done. Let's see. So I'm going to dip it into the water. I'm going to give it a little swirl around. Move it up and down. Oh, I can definitely see it's changing. Okay, swirl it around again. I'm going to squeeze. And it's still quite a bright colour, but it's not as red. If you look, it's changed to an orangey colour now. Can you see that? So your red and yellow has changed to orange. Well done if you got it right, and if not, then great for you for having a go. Now I'm going to try another two colours. This time I have green and I have a nice pink circle.